Hi, I'm Barb Pacholik, a reporter here at the Leader Post. In this province right now, we have a huge overcrowding problem in our correctional centers. And I've produced a story called Jailhouse Jam. To illustrate the situation, we can't go out to the correctional center, so I brought in a few things that I hope will kind of show what the problem is in a simple way. Across the country, this problem of having too many prisoners in too small a space has been building since the 1980s. In Saskatchewan in the 80s, we used to have about 80% of the prisoners were sentenced, and about 20% of them were on remand. Today, it's about 50-50. So half of the people in there are actually not even sentenced or guilty of anything at this point. Now I'm going to try to explain to you what a remand inmate is. So here's our guy, comes before the court, and he's got a lot of problems. So it's a bit of a roll of the dice whether or not he's going to get bail. Guess what? The judge says, go to jail, go directly to jail, do not pass go. He ends up in jail. As a remand inmate, he's not eligible for programs or working. It's really just being in a holding pen. And as a holding pen, it's kind of like a lot of dead time, waiting for your day in court, waiting for the day you might have a trial. So what's the problem in having too many inmates in too small a space? Well, for one thing, it costs a lot of money. We spent an extra $10.3 million on correctional facilities last year. That's because there's no free parking in a correctional center. It costs $62,000 to keep an inmate incarcerated for a year. The other problem is you've got a lot of people at a correctional center who have a lot of problems, and so they're all crammed in that little tiny space, and it's a bit like a traffic jam when nerves get fraught, and eventually there's going to be crashes. At worst, when those crashes get to the highest peak, we get a riot. So we need to find an answer to the question of overcrowding. The provincial auditor has warned that within a few more years, our remand population could grow from 50% to 75%, and that means more overcrowding. So what are our options? Because that's a whole lot more people in those tight spaces. Well, we can keep throwing more money at it and building more jails and stacking more people in those spaces, but even the minister has said that's a recipe for a crash. What we need to do is figure out how to get fewer people in there to begin with.